Welcome to the Shellonomics Podcast, your source for pure Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles entertainment, presented by King Mictus.
All right, guys, another episode of Shellonomics. We are doing a doubleheader today, two jam-packed episodes, pretty much into one with the Black and White Collection, volumes 3 and 4. Lot to cover here, and our good comic friend TMNT Dare Talk Christian, the TMNT super fan out there in Austria over there with the German podcast, is going to help explain. First, we talked about this in our last episode on YouTube and Spotify. So, Christian, for those fans, we encourage to check this out because these are basically like the core, I believe the term you use is canon stories for the Ninja Turtles. A lot of fans who are casual fans are going to be confused, as I was when I was getting this book, because I'm like, wait a second. I know I can count. In America, 13, usually comes after 12. And 16 is supposed to be in this book, and 18. So in this book we're going to cover, we are missing issues 13, 16, and 18. So before we get into this, can you just explain to those who are listening now and are not huge comic fans why some of the issues are not covered in this book?
Yeah, in the Mirage Comics, with the Ultimate Collection that we are talking about, they really tried to collect they really focused on the Eastman and Laird stuff, so the main story parts. And issue number 13 is like a side story. It's canon, but it's not by Eastman and Laird, it's by Michael Dooney. So they did not include this here. And then we already, with issues 16 and 18, we have guest era stories that are not really fitting into the canon. They are like side stories. They're like stories that some other guys did. They're pretty cool, but you cannot really fit them into the main canon, so they left them out. With the Ultimate Collection, we really tried to focus, hey, we really want to give you the main story, the main stuff by Eastman and Laird, the basics, if you want to call it that. So, and later on, we're going to miss a lot of issues, but all of these issues, as I mentioned, they are, some of them are canon. It's not like all of them are non-canon. Some of them are in continuity of the main story and so on and so forth, and they're really cool, but they are not by Eastman and Laird. They're by other guys, Jim Lawson, Michael Dooney, and so on and so forth. So they left them out of the Ultimate Collection. Of course, there are also some stories that are definitely not canon, where they would just like what if stories or some stuff like that by some other comic artists. So there are some big jumps later on here with the numbering. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Thank you for pointing out, because I do hope to cover those with you down the road here on Shellonomics. And we know if you guys stick around for the end, we can tell you where to find some more awesome content with some Turtle comics. But for now, let's get started with issue number 12. Just my fun little notes. Diet Pepsi is in this one in issue 12, and a really, really awesome Splinter fight.
Yeah. As we remember, last issue, the Turtles, they went to Northampton, they went to the farm, and now we're like in the Northampton arc. So we got some stories here where they're hanging out at the farm, and they're having some adventures there, which starts with issue number 12, which is called Survivalists, where the Turtles run into this extremist group, some guys who really want, this was like in the 80s, so there was the Cold War going on, and these guys, they're called CRAP, which is an acronym for, if I remember correctly, Committee for Rebuilding American Patriotism. And they really want to jumpstart the war. They want to show off how good they are at fighting. They're like the survivalists. They're like this prepper guys. I don't know how nowadays guys like these still exist. And the Turtles run into them, and they have some pretty cool fights there. As you mentioned, Splinter even gets into the fight, fights the leader of them, and he's no match for the master until he cheats. Yeah, but then these guys, they even have an atomic bomb that they want to activate. But Donatello is able to remove the radioactive part of the bomb, so it explodes. But it just blows up the building, the house that these guys are living in, including the leader. But at least not an atomic explosion, so that's pretty much fine. So yeah, that's the end of that story. A cool little story, which also was inspiring the 2003 episode "Hate" from season 4. Yeah.
Oh yeah, good call. Good point out. All right, so now we get a little breathing. Now, the good thing, too, is you still get the same amount of issues in this collection as you do the others. Just because you don't get issue 13 doesn't mean they're shortchanging this book, guys. So we're going right into issue number 14. Just a lot of gangster vibe in this one. And Casey Jones, this is actually a really good trivia question, in my opinion, guys. If you're looking to stump your friends, Casey Jones says cowabunga in this issue.
Yeah. That's exactly right. And for some time I thought, wait, is this the first mention of Cowabunga? But, well, this issue came out in 88 and the classic cartoon was 87. So it just some month ago, the classic cartoon was first with the Cowabunga. Well, this is the Unmentionables, issue number 14. It's definitely an Kevin Eastman story. You can totally feel it because he likes those gangster stories, this gritty street level crime stories. And it's, well, the Turtles and especially Casey. It's a very Casey focused story. And he is like after, because like this golden cow was stolen, and he's like all like detective mode, and he wants to go after the thieves, and the Turtles help him, and April is also there. And as you mentioned, this is one big crime story, very, very lots of characters, like bad guys, good guys, so many characters in this story. And yeah, in the end, the Turtles help Casey find the golden cow, get it back from these gangsters, and I really like the ending here because like the police then ask Casey and April, so were there are some other guys helping you? And April and Casey are like, yeah, you can call them the Unmentionables, and the Turtles are like, Unmentionables, yeah, that fits us.
Yeah,
I liked it.
Kind of like the Untouchables movie inspired. I love that spot. That was just another fun Easter egg. They just had fun, and that's what we're going to get into the next issue here. For all you Marvel fans, I mean, this is who's who in regards to parodies. Christian, I'm going to let you point out as many as you'd like. The one I just want to point out is I'm a big metalhead, and we have a Metallica shirt in here, but oh my god, there are just so many Marvel parodies. Let's see how many you can name for us in issue 15.
Okay, yeah, it's issue 15 is Doom, and this is the debut of the Justice Force. The guys we know nowadays from the 2003 cartoon, like, well, we had an adaptation of this comic book as well, and yeah, the Turtles meet some superheroes who Stainless Steel Steve is there, Metalhead, who's this little guy with his head like Medusa from the Marvel comics. And what else? Zippy Lad, who's like this Flash character, Joe Elastic, who's Mr. Fantastic. Then we have Dr. Dome, who is pretty much a parody of Dr. Doom. And and so much more. And well, this was like, because in the story, the Turtles help the Justice Force because they were heroes back then, back in the old days. But nowadays they're old and they get attacked by an old enemy again, Dr. Dome. And they're fighting together against him. And, well, in the end, they can make peace with each other. And as I mentioned way back when we were talking about this episode in the 2003 cartoon, that I was really happy with how they adapted the story because they put in a twist that wasn't present in this comic book. That Dr. Dome was really, in this comic book, he was the one behind these attacks. But in the cartoon episode, it was Ananda, the daughter of battling Bernice, who was behind this attack. So like, oh, there's a twist that I did not see coming back then because I knew the comic, but it was really smart. So here this is the origin of this, the Justice Force that we, well, know from a 2003 cartoon and some other appearances here and there. And yeah, superheroes in the TMNT universe. It's nothing unusual nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. We finally get the Daredevil reference because that's like, as you told us before in a previous episode, that was kind of where the Turtles came from, Daredevil parodies. So we had that. You had a Hulk poster. You had Z instead of X for the Professor. Mr. Elastic instead of Mr. Fantastic. I just had so much fun with that one. That was a good one. You can just tell that these guys were just having fun. And I don't think they had Burnout until later when we get into that, around that time. But this is pretty much Turtle Mania, Turtle Prime. It was starting to get there, and just oh god, these are so much fun I have with you doing these episodes here, Christian. Feel free to walk us into the next issue.
Well, that's issue number 17. As I mentioned, 16 is skipped, which is called Distractions, which is a very unusual story because we get thrown right into the story. Michelangelo is somehow in medieval Japan, and he gets caught up in this fight between this evil daimyo who kidnaps this princess, and he's fighting through all these bad guys to get her back. And he also mentions that he's looking for his brothers, that he has lost in this strange world. So it seems like he was transported to this world and he's fighting there like really old samurai movie style. I'm a big fan of this stuff. This is so cool. This is so unusual and so cool. And then in the end, we find out that this is a story that Michelangelo is actually writing. So, yeah, that's something that we sometimes see in the comics, like in the Mirage comics, Image comics, that we see that Michelangelo has like this poetic side to him. Like he likes to write stories, he likes to write poems. So I always liked this about the comics, that they showed him like he has this artistic side to him and he tries some new stuff. And so, I guess that's the first time that we see Michelangelo doing something like this. And yeah, once again, the last page. I'm a big fan of the last page when he's just sitting there looking at Clunk, his little cat, and like, what do you think? Is it corny? Is it good? Huh? But yeah, it's a really cool story. I like this Japanese samurai stuff, so I'm all there for it. It's unusual, but very cool, I gotta say.
Yeah, and just a pinch, even though this was like almost 40 years ago, like a little pinch of Last Ronin feels here. Just a pinch. We knew it was nowhere near on the lines, but just a little bit there with Mikey being the last dude. So I enjoyed that one a lot. And here we go, the first of many epic battles between brothers in issue 19. I really enjoyed the stay down line too in this one.
Oh boy, this is the start of Return to New York. So this is the Return to New York 3-parter. And yeah, as you mentioned, it's the Turtles, they're still at the farm. And Raphael is getting nervous. He's like, hey, we have to go back to New York. We are sitting here like cowards. We have to go back. We have to fight the Shredder. And Leonardo's like, we're not ready. So big fight, classic Raph versus Leo fight, until Raph is like, hey, I'm out of here. He goes back to New York. And yeah, we see all this foot ninjas. They're like on patrol everywhere. And well, until later, then the other turtles also go back to New York to look for Raphael. And well, they find Raphael in the sewers, and it's like, hey, took you some time. I already met someone who can help us. And that someone is, a Triceraton. They're like, whoa, where does he come from? And that's the end of issue number 19.
Yeah, it's a good start to our, like you say, this massive 3-parter. And Raph and Leo just... It works. It just works. And it's really interesting because you never see Mike and Donnie go at it or anybody else, just those two, and it just works, even though they're brothers. Real quick, I guess just maybe one random question. How did you like it when they fought in the 2007 movie?
Oh, dude, that's one of my top scenes in any TMT media. Mm-hmm. This scene, that a fight between Raph and Leo in the rain. It was 2007, so it's been like... let me do the math quick. 5, 10, 13, 18 years. It's been 18 years since this movie, and it still looks so awesome. It's still one of my favorite moments in TMNT history. It just looks so good. It's like the whole setup, like Leo's like, "Hey, don't do this," and Raf's like, "I'm done taking orders," and then they get on it. It's always, it always gives me goosebumps. This whole scene is one of the best, I gotta say.
Yeah, I have to ask Leonardo and Raphael fans. I mean, I like it because it's almost like a big WWE wrestling match. You know, one gets the win, then the other gets the win right back. Just Leonardo just trash talking the Night Watcher. It's like, have you ever done this before? Just because you can tell Raphael's getting so angry on the inside. Is he actually lecturing me? I don't think that's actually. I think I agree with you, Christian. I don't think I could have written anything better than how that fight went in the sequence and how it ended up at the end. And it's funny because some people said it was a little dark. I'm like, guys, there was no blood. People fight. I mean, it was maybe a little edgier, but it wasn't like it was like dark, like heads are getting fallen off. I love that scene too. I'm glad you do as well, because now I kind of want to watch the 2007 movie later this week because after talking about that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, back to business, guys. We're in part 2 of Return to New York. Like you say, we got a little Triceraton friend here in issue number 20.
Yeah, in this issue, we find out that the Triceraton is called Zog, and he was left on Earth way back. That was in issue number 7, when the Utroms transported turtles back from the Triceraton world, and he stranded on Earth and was left back there. And he is going insane a little bit because he can't breathe in our atmosphere. So so he thinks that Raphael is like a leader of the Triceraton, calls him Zorath, and so Raph is now the boss, the leader of Zog, and they find like a hideout of the Foot Clan. They attack them, and through this they find out where the Foot Clan headquarters is currently. So they go there, and it's pretty much one big action scene. They go there, attack the Foot Clan, fights everywhere. Zog goes in, and he gets attacked by something, and gets brutally murdered. Zog has been like in only one issue tops here, but still he's like, he left such a big impact on the story. I was kind of sad that he was killed there. He was, not a good guy, but he thought that he was a good guy, and I really liked him. And he was killed by someone, and the turtles went after him in this Foot Clan headquarters, and they met like 3 weird shredder creatures who killed Zog, and that's the big cliffhanger ending of this issue.
Yeah, that's how I felt with it as well. And it would have been nice to see him around a little bit longer, but I mean, that's the cool thing about these comics is it's just not like the cartoon that we grew up with. There's so much death. And we're going to get into another issue and a couple more. There's a real shocker if you guys stick around and listen to some more about this, because I know Christian knows where I'm going with that in another issue with someone named Mr. Jones. But for now, let's bring home this trilogy, this 3-parter of Return to New York with tons and shredders everywhere, and a little homage to the 2003 one of the season endings here.
Yeah, it's exactly right. Yeah, we got an adaptation of this storyline in the 2003 cartoon nearing the end of season 1, which was also called Return to New York. And here, like these 3 shredder creatures, they attack the turtles once again. Big fight, and most of the issue is fights, because the Foot Clan attacks these shredder clone creatures. They fight the turtles, and later Leo goes after Shredder himself, and we finally find out how it was possible that Shredder is alive again, because he was killed in the very first issue, and it turns out that he is actually he's a clone, but not in the usual sense. It's like the the Foot Clan, they have this mystic knowledge, and with a fusion of mysticism and modern technology, to use like these warm creatures to feed on the flesh of the original Shredder, to create a new Shredder body. And these three Shredder creatures that the Turtles are fighting, they're failed clones, they're failed experiments. So now Leonardo has a big fight with this new Shredder, and well, it's back and forth a lot. Shredder almost kills Leo, but well, it's like it's classic 80s action style, like explosions everywhere, the whole building is crumbling, and in the end we have this big splash page. Once again, I only can recommend everyone to read this comics for yourself, because the art is just so good. Like Shredder and Leo jumping at each other, and in the end, Leonardo is beheading the Shredder, and they give the Shredder like this Viking funeral, sending him out on the river, like burning his body. And well, that's the end of that. The Turtles have fought back. They are back in New York. They came back, and they defeated the Shredder once and for all. So hopefully this nightmare is finally over. Shredder is done, and that's the end of Return to New York. An awesome story with lots of action. Just I can only recommend so many times that the art is just so good. The action is so cool. It's so this is really one of the best storylines in Mirage Comics. And yeah, that's the end of this, and the end of book number 3 of the Ultimate Collection.
Yeah, I can't agree more. You took the words out of my mouth. I encourage everybody who's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan, whether it's from the 1987 series, the 2007 movie, the Nickelodeon show, the 2003 series, Rise of the Turtles, just all these other incarnations of Turtles, just this is where it all started and where it all began. So if you want to be a Ninja Turtle historian, this is where I recommend you start, especially if you're of age. And I mean, I guess, well, Christian, we talked about this. You're a family dad. You have kids. What age would you recommend kids to read this book? I guess because there's been a couple episodes where like, hey, hold on, let's wait a little bit. I need to see some television ID before you can watch that show. So, what age group would you have for those for reading the comics? What's the minimum age number, just out of your own personal opinion?
Well, in movie terms, I would put them PG-13. Okay. I think that's around because there's a lot of fights and so on and so forth, especially in this storyline. There's a lot of fight, a lot of killing, but it never gets explicitly like there's blood and guts everywhere or something like this. But it gets a little bit rough here and there. So I think, PG-13, I gotta say, like when the kids are around 13, 14, I think that can work. That's not gonna give them nightmares, not much at least.
Yeah, and the language isn't that bad either. I mean, a bad word every now and then, but it's not excessive, it's not explicit, and it's actually a really smooth read too. Like you say, and it's very easy on the eyes with the black and white. So I agree with you all the way on that one. Keep it PG-13. So now, with our doubleheader, we go into Volume 4, and this is probably one of the reasons why we recommend PG-13, because, oh my God, I have this in all caps in my notes, bleep, 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 kill somebody. So, how in the heck did this come to be, man? And also, just for fun, to take your mind off, there is a little joke here. We do see some Dunkin' Donuts for those who are interested in some, American food. I always like that in anime episodes. They do that sometimes. Like there's a show, Great Teacher Onizuka, and they have, instead of a Denny's out here, they have the Denny's chain. They have a Benny's, and it's the exact same colors, and they just change the word. So, had to throw a little joke in there. But now it's time to get why so serious. To paraphrase the Dark Knight Joker here. My God, take it away and hold on to something. This is a very shocking issue to me.
Yeah, it really feels like, I mean, these comics, they were always more serious, but dude, with issue number 48, which is Shades of Grey Part 1, we get in some really dark material. Because the Turtles, they were once again I gotta say, this is issue number 48, so we jumped over a lot of issues here. So the turtles, they were back on the farm, were for some time, and they were like playing this game of tag with Casey in the city nearby, which was Springfield. And yeah, so Casey is hiding in the city, running around, and the turtles, they go after him, try to catch him, like some training. And then Casey runs into some kids who provoke him, and he's like, okay, let's have some fun. And Casey does what Casey's always doing. He's beating them up until they run off, but one of them is not running because by accident Casey killed the kid. And it's like, whoa, this never happened before. Like beating them up and everything, but like, whoa, now we're getting into some dark material here. And until then, nobody appears, who is a character that we have not talked about yet. I mean, we know him from the 2003 cartoon, but in the comics, he first appeared in the Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic series, which was this companion stories. And he's like this policeman who is a vigilante at night. And he sees this, like, thinks that Casey did this on purpose, like killed the kid, and there's a big fight until the turtles come in and they say, hey, Casey would never kill someone. It must have been an accident. And, for now, nobody let them go. And, Casey is not feeling very well, and so this is, for now, the end of the first part of the story. Yeah.
Jeez, I mean, I have some bad news for you. We really can't take that long of a deep breath to mourn over that, because we go right into issue 49, and now we have a turtle going against Casey Jones in a smidge. I was like, wow. Donatello stepping it up here. Take it away.
Yeah, this is exactly right, because, Casey is not feeling good about this whole thing. It really drags him down. Like, he's drinking a lot, and he's out in the woods, and then Donatello is also there, and, they start a fight. I mean, Casey starts a fight with him, like, oh, you're always so smart. Do you think you're better than us? And Don's like, I did not do anything. I'm just sitting here. So, Casey starts a fight with him. And, of course, Donnie is winning this one and throws him into the river. So, then later on, Casey goes back to Springfield and he runs into Nobody, who is in his normal police uniform, and he tells Casey that he is free of charges because it was really an accident. It turned out that it was really an accident. But it does not change the fact that Casey killed someone by accident. So, it's like, it feels like this whole story feels like a prequel to what's coming next, which is the City at War saga. It's like a lot of people are not feeling really good. It's like, whoa, we're the superheroes. It's like, no, we are also only human. I mean, we have this moment where between April and Splinter in this issue, which I always thought it was cold for Splinter, when April is like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I was talking to my sister Robin, and I don't know, I need to do something. Just wish I had a normal life. I know you guys, I love you guys, but I can never meet someone and bring them here because you are here and you cannot be seen, and so on and so forth. And Splinter, what should I do? And Splinter just turns around, looks at April, is like, leave. And then he goes out of the room. Like, I always thought it was pretty cold for Splinter. Like, hey, Splinter, please help me. Go away.
Yeah.
And that's the end of that issue. Yeah,
another crazy one. And now it's starting to get very, very crazy. Now this happened in the 2003 series, but I gotta tell you, I like it more in the comics. Let's get into this. CAW, City at War.
Yeah, first issue. That was issue number 50 of the original comics. And I gotta say, I also think that the City at War 3-parter in the 2003 cartoon was great. I like it, but it's so different in this comic because it's a 13 issue event story. It's like there's so much going on, so much changing in this whole story. And yeah, it's like issue 50 is also very special because there's almost no text. It's most of the stuff is told just through pictures, just through the art, and what fantastic art it is once again. It's pretty much everyone's leaving. April is leaving to live with her sister in Los Angeles for a while. Casey tries to go after her. The Turtles, they are about to go back to New York again. Splinter is leaving behind, so they all split up. It's all like the whole team, they're splitting up. It all feels like, oh, we are so low now. Everybody is so at the worst right now. And while all this is happening, there's like something going on between the foot ninjas that are still left even after the death of Shredder in New York. There's like this fight going on between the different factions. And yeah, so this is the start of it. It's like everyone is going their own way, and what's going to happen next, nobody knows. It's really one big storyline, just the start of it.
Yeah, this is very, very intense, and let's just go right into the next one with Casey Jones starting to develop some feelings for somebody here. And after you explain this one, I want to know your take on how you felt with this lovey-dovey stuff. I think it's good. I think it gives you another reason to get emotionally invested into these characters.
Yeah, you really feel that Casey is changing here because Casey is always, just want to rumble, just want to fight. This really crazy guy when we met him way back in the Raphael Micro series who was like, oh, crazy, just want to beat up some bad guys. And after everything that happened to him in the last issues, he really changed. It's like, I don't know where I'm going now because I cannot go on like this. I cannot just go around beating people up. I have to grow up. It's really like this moment here. And so Casey, who was driving after April, he goes to this diner for some coffee and some burgers, and he meets this lady called Gabrielle. And there's something, there's gonna happen something between them. Meanwhile, April is in Los Angeles with her sister. The Turtles, they went back to New York. And they're trying to find their own way in life. And Casey's car gets stolen, so he's stuck out there in, I think it's Colorado. And it's pretty much the Turtles. They still don't know what they should do. Casey is he found like Gabrielle who's taking care of him. April is in Los Angeles trying to start a new life. And let's see where this whole thing is taking everyone.
Gosh, I really enjoy it because it's just. I do wish I could travel back in time if we can get Renette. See, I practiced now. You got me in to say Renette, not Renee. I wanted to make sure I got that in there for practice. Use the time factor and just go back and just read these the way they were supposed to be, page by page in the black and white. You get that nice comic book, aroma smell when you're turning the pages because, as you said in just the first one, issue 50, it's mostly just artwork. You're just blazing through and you're actually getting invested. Like, wow. And here we go again with Casey and Gabrielle in number 52, and Raph is growing very, very impatient as we figured.
It's like Casey, who is still staying with Gabrielle, and she's taking care of him, and he's like, I don't know what I should do. He's just hanging around, and there's like a little romance starting between them. meanwhile, there's something going on in New York because there are some foot ninjas who are letting loose a robot in the city, causing chaos. There's like a big fight starting. And in Japan, meanwhile, the Foot Clan realizes, there's a war starting in New York City between the different factions of the Foot Clan for leadership. So we should do something about this. And this is the first time ever that we meet Karai. And we see, she's not, I don't think she's even named here, but we know that she is Karai. It's like, okay, we have to do something about this. And yeah, then the turtles, they get caught in the middle of this fight, like this big robot attacking like a bus where some other foot ninjas some foot guys are in there, and then some other foot ninjas come in, and it starts like this real street fight there, and it's crazy. It gets a little bit bloody. So yeah, turtles are caught in this fight. There's like a little army of foot ninjas, some robots, and well, on the last page, one of the turtles says, "Well, it can't get much worse," but well, it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse.
Oh my gosh, yes it does, it does. So issue 53 is coming out, and I believe Christmas 1992, and I had a little note here, as we brought up before, just for those who, just in case you're listening to Shellonomics for the first time on YouTube or Spotify, be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube, and drop us a follow on Spotify. Comic books back then were $2.25, way back when. For the USD.
Can you imagine it?
Yeah, for USD, $2.25. For all this rich, just amazing content. And 92, that was let's see, Turtles 3 I don't think came out, the movie, that was in 93. Turtlemania I think was still riding high in 92. TV show was still doing very well. Merchandise was all over the place. People in my area were still having Ninja Turtle themed birthday parties. Video games, you had your bed sheets, you'd brush your teeth with your Ninja Turtle toothbrush, you go to bed with your Ninja Turtle bed sheets, you'd play with your figures. So yeah, Turtlemania was still very, very high. So let's get into issue 53 here.
Yeah, so the most of the story is the turtles caught in this fight, and there's like this big fight, and some elite ninja even appear, and well, it's really crazy. Meanwhile, Casey finds out that Gabrielle is pregnant, but she was pregnant before, so it's not like he is the father. But Casey's like, okay, it's like, it doesn't matter. I care about you. I will take care of you. I will stay. So yeah, the story goes on. And Splinter, meanwhile, his story starts here more or less, because he's like walking around in the woods, and he finds this like old factory building, and he starts to look around here. So that's gonna be very interesting, Splinter's story. So, but most of the story is the turtles fighting, and they are, well, in the end, they're barely escaping with their lives, because it's just craziness, or as the turtles put it, it's a maelstrom of violence. And yeah, and back in Japan, Karai is like, okay, we really have to do something. So it is time to take care of business in New York. And yeah, that's what she's gonna do.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a tough question to answer, because Karai from the original, the 2003 cartoon. But what were your first thoughts having Karai there? Because again, Shredder is gone. He ain't coming back. So what were your thoughts of having Karai being, again, it's being a female leader? I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great, fresh take, and, we've had good female villains before in the Marvel and DC universe. Catwoman, to name one, and a couple others. So I enjoyed Karai in this. How about you?
Oh, absolutely. It was also very interesting because, we had all this Shredder and Foot Clan stories, but it's like, it always seemed like, okay, Shredder is in New York. This is the New York Foot Clan. So that's our focus here. But what about other parts of the world? So what's going on in Japan? What's going on in the background of the Foot Clan? It was always like a mystery. It was never the focus of the story. So to finally see something going on, like, okay, oh yeah, the Foot Clan is still active in Japan and so on and so forth. So that was very interesting. And yeah, with Karai, she's really an interesting character. Like, she's completely different from the Shredder, with all her, well, just like in the 2003 cartoon, with her feelings for honor and so on and so forth. With Shredder was always like, I want revenge, I want to conquer, I want to be the big boss here. And from the start, we get the feeling that Karai is more like, no, it's more about business. She's more level-headed than Shredder. She's more on the honor side. She's not, I don't want to kill people left and right. I'm here to take care of the Foot Clan, take care of the family, and so on and so forth. So yeah, Karai is a very interesting character, and hey, nowadays we still talk about Karai because she became such a big focus of like 2003 cartoon, 2012 show. She was in the movies and so on and so forth. So she really became a main character in the TMNT universe from the start.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I really like her. Like you say, it's more of a not a childlike innocence, but it's almost like you can kind of think of Magneto for the X-Men, you know? It's like, because Stanley always says, like, he's a guy who doesn't think he's doing wrong. And that's kind of how she is. She's like, no, I'm doing this for honor. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, she's a bad guy, but it's not like Shredder, like you said, where it's just all destruction and total chaos. So, Christian, this has been great. We have, I believe, one more issue left, and that's going to do it for our episode here, for a crazy cliffhanger for you guys to come on back for the next one.
So... No, it's two more issues. 45
that's right.
55 and 54 and 55.
Okay, very good. Okay, so we do have a little bit more than... So we get a Christmas bonus then. All right, very good, very good.
Yeah, exactly. In 54, it's... we get to see more of Splinter, because he's like walking around his old factory building, and he's looking around. He's like, this is what a strange place. And then he falls down like this big chimney, and he breaks his leg, and he can't move. He's alone. He don't know what to do, and well, he passes out at first. So back in New York, the Turtles, they currently have like their lair in an old water tower. And well, once again, they talk about like, okay, what should we do? The Foot Clan is out there, they're killing each other. Like, once again, like in 2003 cartoon, they're talking about like, okay, should we do something about this, or let the Foot Clan like kill each other? Is this our problem? Is it because we killed the Shredder that we caused this, and so on and so forth? Meanwhile, Karai is on her way to New York. She's flying to New York. And as you said, it's Christmas time. Casey and Gabrielle, they're having a Christmas time, which is also very cute. And yeah, during all this, the Foot Clan, the Foot Elite, they're killing other Foot Ninjas left and right. It's like, yeah. And once again, at the last page, we have like a report on this city and this citywide war. And the reporter is like, well, I have only one question. When will this violence stop? And the Turtles, they're sitting around like, I don't know, what should we do? So this is the end of issue number 54.
Gosh, so thank you for correcting me again, because I really actually didn't want to leave people hanging for this showdown that you've been hyping up pretty much a couple minutes ago. We had this in the original cartoon at least once. It was when the Rat King was having, Vernon and Irma be rats. And even though it was very short-lived, I just love that showdown between the Rat King and Splinter. And we get it here starting again. I even put in my notes, this is so cool here in issue 55.
Yeah, this is so good. I love Splinter's story here because, well, Splinter, he's like he's really not well. He's lying there with broken leg. He can't move. And suddenly someone appears in front of Splinter, like talking to him like, hey, you know you're going to die if you don't do something, get something to eat. And like, there's nothing to eat. I cannot move. What should I do? Well, there are always rats running around. It's like, you can eat the rats. And Splinter's like, no, I cannot do this. Meanwhile, on the other side, we have Casey, who is finally asking Gabriel to marry him. And she says, yes, hooray. One little happy moment for Casey there. And, well, the turtles, they are running over the rooftops, and they run into one of the Foot Elite, well, Rev at first, he runs into one and they have a big fight. And, well, it's the Foot Elite, so they are the best of the Foot Clan. So Rev really has problems fighting him, but in the end, he is able to stab him with his sai. And, yeah, but the turtles, they want answers. Hey, what's going on? What are you doing? And he's like, no, I will never talk. And then he kills himself. Then we have the big moment in the end when the mysterious character in front of Splinter comes out of the shadows, and he is the Red King. Bam, bam, bam. Like, oh no, he's back again. And, well, this is now finally the end of the Ultimate Collection volume number 4, and, well, what a cliffhanger it is.
Yeah, exactly. I wish we had enough time to do another one, but we will be hopefully back with you guys next week. Final thoughts on both of these books. I really enjoy just these guys, Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman, they were just untouchable at this time. Anything they threw on the paper was gold. It was like the Midas touch, pretty much. I used to go as King Midas, and I'd call it the Midas touch. These guys definitely had the Midas touch, because as we're talking even here, do you notice we haven't had any negativity? Like, I would have changed this. We're not playing, as Americans call it sometime, a Monday morning quarterback or armchair quarterback, where you sit and you just, commentate and backseat the National Football League quarterbacks in the NFL. Here we just love everything about these. Everything worked, with the relationships to the battles to the parodies to. I mean, is there anything they did wrong here? I don't see anything. I think they hit a home run on every single issue here.
I gotta agree. I mean, we have the big stories with Return to New York and City at War, but even the smaller stories, they still so entertaining. The art is great. It feels so I don't know how I should put it. It just makes me feel good to read these comics, because it looks so good, and the story, it's so how should I put it? It's so classic TMNT Mirage comic style. The black and white style. Yes, it's black and white, but the art is still so good, so detailed. And yeah, like later on with City at War, it's such a big storyline. It's like, this is like the magnum opus of the TMNT comic world. And yeah, as you say, I cannot say anything negative about these comics, because they are so entertaining. Even after I've read them like a dozen times, I still think that these are the best of the best. These are great stories. And yeah, check them out. Really, I'm not getting paid or anything by IDW, Mirage, or anyone. I'm just such a big fan of these stories, and if you have not read them for yourself, you definitely should check them out sooner or later.
Yeah, agree all the way. I mean, we've done episodes, plenty of them now, as good friends, and we've said, this episode we could throw out on a couple of our shows. So we're honest critics. Just we know what we like, and we really enjoy these. Christian, before we let you go, one question again. If somebody has listened all this way to our podcast here, we talked about this in the beginning. We're missing a lot of issues here. We jumped all the way, we missed a couple here and there, and we go to, I believe it was like issue in the 40s. So missing pretty much everything in the 30s. If you can you help direct us Ninja Turtle fans where to go? We talked about getting the black and white collection first. I feel this is a great starting point, because as you notice, it's all canon. You're not really overwhelmed. Your mind, it's not ADHD reading where you're bouncing around. You're stuck basically on the Shredder and Foot Clan saga, I guess, so to speak here. So Where can we find the other books? I've been told through Reddit forums, Tales of the TMNT is probably a safe bet to try and find those issues, but I wanted your recommendation because you are probably the biggest TMNT comic fan that I know of.
Thanks for the compliment. Well, yeah, if you want to read the other stories, IDW reprinted most of them in their the color classics.
Okay.
So, or the trade paperbacks, they were just called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Classics. They reprinted them in color, most of the stories, and they also put out some reprint trade paperbacks for the Tales of the TMNT. I mean, Volume 1 of Tales of the TMNT were just 7 issues, so they are collected in, I think, 2 trade paperbacks. So yeah, you can check them definitely out there. I think that's the safest bet to get them. But I also think if you want more into digital, it's like Comixology. I think you can find all the stuff there. Everything that IDW reprinted, you can find there. So, color, the TMNT classics and the Tales of the TMNT trade paperbacks, they are the safest bet to get all the other stories that are missing here, but still canon, still good. So, yeah, to get a full thing, I think that's the safest bet here.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I just took those notes then too. So the classic colors and some trades. Okay, yeah, because again, neither of us are at this time, as of this podcast, we are not getting paid by Amazon to go to Comixology. But we have brought up before, if you do have Amazon, and I believe you have Amazon Prime, I did this. You could actually try it for free for 30 days, and I did that. This is how I got my notes here. I enjoyed it. I do plan on getting these books hard copies. Actually, Christian, real quick before we go, how many hard copies of the comics do you personally own?
Hardcovers.
Or the trades, any of them.
I mean, I have all the Ultimate Collection, all 7 volumes.
Okay, nice.
And some of the IDW, the IDW collections, and I've got all the German releases because we also get them in hardcover books. Got all them, we are at volume 7, and also the Last Ronin, they put them out. So I got them. It's some, and it looks really nice. It looks really nice on the bookshelf to have this big hardcover books. They look really good. So once again, I can only recommend them.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, it's been fun. We're bringing this in for a landing, but before we do, Christian, I want you to plug your channel as always, but how deep did you get into these? Because I love your podcast as well. You break these down just by book. So if you guys want more facts and more Easter eggs and just more of Turtles, nostalgia, and present day stuff, how deep did you get into this Ultimate Collection with issues, the way we're doing this?
Yeah, well, on the German episodes, I was able to finish Volume 1 and Volume 2 of the TMNT. Awesome. So the Ultimate Collection, there I talked about all of them. So I usually do 2 comics per episode. So I really go deep there. Yeah, I know. So yeah, but that was in the German. In the English, I did not yet get to the classic comics. I talk a lot about the comics, but mostly about the current comics. So yeah, that's also something that I should do sometime. Talk about the classic TMNT comics in English episodes of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Talk, which is my podcast, by the way.
Yes, exactly, guys. Where can we find that too, Christian? I'm pretty sure we've said it a couple times. I believe you're on Spotify. Anywhere else? You're also on YouTube, and you have a little social on Twitter, right? All that good stuff.
Yeah, I'm social. You can find me pretty much everywhere. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and also on Discord. Check out tmnttalk.com, the website. I got everything linked there. Check it out. And well, listen to some episodes. Maybe maybe you think it's entertaining to hear more of my ramblings there.
Hey, it's always cool. Well, I know somebody appreciates because anytime you start your show, you get a standing ovation. So we know you have plenty of fans out there. Oh man, Christian, as always, my dude, thank you again for taking some time to spend with us on Shellonomics. Have yourself a phenomenal day, and fingers crossed your petition, I say in quote marks as we're recording this on August 5th, that your petition gets to movie theaters so you can see the 35th anniversary of the Ninja Turtle movie in theaters by you.
Oh, that would be a dream come true. Let's keep the fingers crossed.
All right, my friend, have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Thanks. Bye.